evening, Earthlings. Boys and galaxies, girls and voids, and every star in between. Space is dark and full of wonders, and more than a few terrors. From megacomets to rogue planets to gamma ray bursts, space is a pretty spooky place. In this episode, we're counting down the top 10 spooky space facts. Because remember, in space, no one can hear you scream. Because it's a vacuum and there's no air to carry the sound. I'm Amanda Kerberg, but you can call me a lift back to my home planet. And this is Space for Humans, the Halloween edition. Let us begin with number 10, the Helix Nebula. I always feel like somebody's watching me. And it's the Helix Nebula, nicknamed the Eye of God or the Eye of Sauron. This planetary nebula is actually a dying star going out with a bang. As the star cools, the outer layers of dust and gas are expanding, creating an image that appears to us like a giant eye in the sky. This nebula is awesome. Number 9, the Great Red Spot. A star-face patch would have to be as big as an actual star to treat this angry red spot on the surface of Jupiter. First painted in 1711 by Italian artist Donato Creti, Jupiter's fearsome scarlet storm has been raging for hundreds of years. The storm swirls counterclockwise and contains winds as fast as 400 miles per hour. And there would be no escaping this storm. It's more than twice the width of Earth. For you Americans, that's about 20 times the width of Texas. Shall we giddy up to number 8? Number 8, Supermassive Black Hole. Supermassive Black Hole isn't just a hit song on the Twilight soundtrack. The spookiest part about black holes is that we don't actually know what happens if you fall into one. But we do know that once it's got a hold on you, there's no way to escape. And once it's got you, the effects of the extreme gravitational pull on one end would stretch you vertically and flatten you horizontally, a transformation physicists call spaghettification. In other words, that's that me spaghetti. Number 7, the Great Attractor. It might sound like a comic book villain or a 90s magician or someone a dating app would hide behind a paywall, but the Great Attractor is actually much scarier. Have you ever found yourself pulled towards someone, but you didn't know why? Maybe there were a lot of red flags, but you just couldn't see them. The Great Attractor is like that, but for the entire Milky Way. Our galaxy, plus millions of other galaxies, swiped right and are all experiencing its gravitational pull. Ugh, a player and a level 5 clinger. But what actually is it? A rugged yet misunderstood bad boy who longs for a home planet, but is bound to the stars? That's the thing, it's hidden behind too many layers of gas and dust, kind of like a catfish. We're moving closer and closer, but we can't even see it. The Great Attractor, show me the real you! Hello? The Great Attractor?
No. The call is coming from inside the studio.
Dr. Stribling?
Yes, it's me, Dr. Stribling, or as you might know me by my other name, legally distinct titanium alloy billionaire. I've been following your list, and I think we can get a lot spookier. Abbott and Costello never encountered a black hole, the mystery machine never broke down in front of Jupiter, Bella Swan never made a heartbreaking choice between Helix Nebula and the Great Attractor.
Okay, phony Stark. What do you think we should be talking about?
Let's toss the spaghettification. Let's get into some real spooky stuff. You've heard of the Universal monsters, now let's meet the universe's monsters. So, sit back, grab your candy, Coming in at number 6, vampire stars. Vivant to suck your hydrogen. That's right. Sparkly vampires are real. Vampire stars are extremely large and unusually bright. And their gravitational pull is so strong that it strips the outer layers away from a nearby donor star. So the vampire star both sucks the life from its victim and sparkles all the more radiantly for it. But wait, it gets even better. In 2023, a new study argued that these systems required a third star that pushed the donor star towards the vampire. You know, like a familiar.
Don't you just hate it when a star gets too familiar?
Which brings us to our next creature of the night. Number 5, an American werewolf on the moon. We talked in our first episode about the Artemis missions, which will return astronauts to the lunar surface and build the Lunar Gateway, a space station in orbit around the moon. Pretty exciting, right? Unless you're a werewolf. See, back on Earth, the transformation is triggered once a month by the light of the full moon, but we can't predict how a werewolf would respond to standing on the moon itself. What about humanity's multiplanetary future? I mean, Mars has 2 moons, Jupiter has 95. Just to be safe, maybe all werewolf crew members should stay on the moon's dark side.
Werewolves on the moon? Sounds like a howl of a good time, woo! Now, let's get back to some real space facts. Like number 4, the face on Mars. In 1976, the Mars orbiter Viking 1 snapped a picture that looked an awful lot like a giant human face carved into the landscape. And with a face like that, who needs an ozone layer? Even skeptics wondered whether the face could be evidence of a very handsome ancient alien civilization. And, spoiler alert, it's not. We just needed more pixels to get a clearer image of the Martian hill. It's really an example of a phenomenon called pareidolia, or the tendency of people to see patterns, like faces, in random places. Like seeing a celebrity in a potato chip, or a dog in the clouds, or an alien princess in a film studio. Oh, that's just my reflection.
I mean, actually, that wasn't the only face that people saw on Mars. Other landscapes looked like a giant smiley face and, Kermit the Frog over there. I mean, imagine an ancient alien civilization of Kermits. Maybe they're all singing Someday We'll Find It, the Martian Connection. I don't know.
Wait, just a star cycle. Is this a spooky episode or not?
Number 3, zombie stars, the floating dead. Sometimes a vampire star overeats. Vampires. They're an Epicurean indulgent bunch. So when a vampire star sucks away too much material and it reaches critical mass, it becomes unstable and triggers a supernova explosion. Well, that explosion would normally kill the star, but sometimes the dying star survives. I mean, sort of. The revived remnant of the star still shines, but it's not really a living star. It's undead, flickering in the night sky as it cools over billions of years.
All right, it's my turn. Or you might say, my gravitational rotation. Number 2, if you don't love me at my Venus, you don't deserve me at my planet Earth. Venus and Earth are often called sister planets because of their similar size, but it's a very good witch, wicked witch dynamic. Earth is the popular girl, full of life, dazzling with pretty pink flowers and sunsets. Glinda has her bubble, and Earth has her ozone layer. And then there's Venus, hot and fiery, devoid of life, radiating volcanic power. And scientists speculate that Venus's hot temper was caused by runaway greenhouse effects. Get it? Green? But here's the spooky part. It's likely that a long time ago in our own galaxy, Venus used to look a lot like Earth. Now that's a different kind of glow-up.
Huh, yeah. Well, that reminds me of my own glow-up. I did that in a cave with a box of scraps.
Oh, because you're
legally distinct titanium alloy billionaire? Yes. And we've reached endgame. It's number 1, the Dark Forest Hypothesis. Seriously, this one's actually pretty spooky.
The Dark Force.
The Dark Forest Hypothesis tries to explain how it's possible that the universe is so vast and we haven't heard from any alien civilizations. It gets its name from the 2008 novel by Liu Cixin, who also wrote The Three-Body Problem. Alright, picture yourself in a dark forest. It is a scary place, and not just if you're a Hogwarts student terrified of giant spiders. There are potential dangers lurking around every corner. Predators lying in wait, one quick flash of the moonlight dances across the pupils of 100 eyes looking back. That's actually kind of terrifying. Alright, so basically the Dark Forest Hypothesis suggests that the reason we haven't heard from any other civilizations is that they've learned that space, like a dark forest, is a scary place, and now they're staying low and avoiding conflict. No one wants a real-life game of Galaga. You didn't think we were going to get that reference in, but we did. So, how do we avoid predators in a dark forest? Well, we stay very still and very quiet and never leave the house. But hey, that gives you lots of time to watch your favorite space-themed YouTube series. With a pair of headphones, of course. And remember, viewers, I love you 3001.
Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Space for Humans. And take a moment to comment with a few simple words. Any words, as long as they're simple.
So when a vampire star sucks away too much material and reaches a critical mass, it becomes unstable. This is why you use blueberries, right?